What's up, kids? So, just as a warning, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about in this video, but I was at a party last night and one of my friends was talking about how I make the YouTube videos, and seeing as how I haven't made one in probably about a month, I figured I should, make one since people are talking about them. Grandma, my hair really is this red. I'm sorry, but I like it this color. Things going on in my life. Very little. Lots of work. I got a job at Quiznos in addition to my job at Midas. I realized from my job at Midas that I'm picking up a lot about cars. I work at Midas, but what I do at Midas is I just do customer service stuff. I don't actually work on the cars at all. But I'm finding that just being around the mechanics and listening to them talk and having to bill out people and, looking at the work orders, I'm realizing that I am picking up a lot about, how cars work and how much it costs to fix them. And it's kind of exciting, but a little scary too, because now I'm like really scared of my car. All these terrible things can happen to your car, you don't even know it. Someone's commenting on my Facebook. I was reading this article by the New York Times called "What Is It with 20-somethings?" I'll put a link in the bar down here. It was all about how adulthood is being delayed right now with 20-year-olds and how they're trying to decide if they want to establish a new stage of development like they did with teenagers. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, teenagers, like being a teenager was not always, there didn't used to be the word teenager, and people didn't, acknowledge teenagers as their own group. You were a kid until you got out of school, and then you were an adult, and that's just how it was. It wasn't until about 100 years ago that people started acknowledging teenagers as their own group with their own special needs and developmental needs, and that's when middle schools were established and just all of these kinds of things. So now what the New York Times article is about is, this whole debate about whether or not 20-somethings should get the same kind of treatment. More 20-year-olds are moving home. Usually, traditionally, by the time you were 30, you had finished school, you were married, and you had kids, and you had a job, and that's how it was. And now it's taking longer and longer to get those steps. And you can debate forever about why this is. I don't really think about it that much. I mean, I'm part of this demographic, and I guess you could say I'm part of the problem. I'm finished with school, but I don't really have a real job, and I'm not married, and I'm not planning on having kids anytime soon. So, yeah, I guess I'm part of, if you want to call it a problem, I'm part of the problem. But I feel that our society is different than it was back then, and there are so many more options and things that you can do, and I don't feel a lot of pressure, really, to, do any of those things, so I'm not going to. So I'm going to edit this and see what it's like. Hopefully y'all are having a good time. This really didn't have any kind of contingency to it at all. It was just me talking. Sorry. So, okay. Bye.